What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Unpopular View, the entertainment side of everything. And we're going to talk Gotham Knights, episode 12. I got to say real quick before we break down, that's what an intro should be. It's long, it's colorful, you get to see the personality, and we're going to be bringing back, eventually, at some point. We'll figure out our schedules. But we're going to, but before we, I mean, not even before, but get away from that. We're going to talk about Gotham Knights. See the Superior, I Am Bad Guy. See, before we break down this episode, what did you think about this episode?
A lot happened. We got a lot of, revelations and such this episode. Yeah, and I can't wait to talk about it. Also, don't forget if you're watching, don't forget to leave us a like. Don't forget to grab your drinks. This is a wind down. And also, before we get started, Silhouetted Animator, our unofficial fourth co-host. If you're watching, hit us up on Instagram on unpopular.review on IG, because we would love to have you for the series finale, because as you know, or may have heard, Gotham Knights has not been renewed. It's been canceled. So our next episode of Gotham Knights is going to be our last, unfortunately. But we would love to have you on Silhouetted Animator. So hit us up on Instagram so we can make it happen. But speaking of, what did you think of the news of the cancellation?
It's funny. I was just going to ask you, what did you think? Oh my goodness! I think my throat didn't know how to handle this news, but which sounds terrible. How I just pointed that out sounded very bad. So when I heard it, I was shocked because I'm like, damn, we didn't even finish, and they already said, yeah, we're going to cancel this series. But I was talking to my mother. I watched it before we went on air with my mom. Shout out to Mama Bad Guy. And I said, honestly, and I know we're going to talk more about this episode, so I don't want to jump too ahead, but I feel like this was good for one season, because then I'm like, well, what do you do after this? But to take in, like, initially the news, when I heard it, I was like, oh, well, and I don't want to sit here and say, oh, I was surprised, but I didn't expect it to be a thing. Because, CW has been lately just been canceling shows, so that's why I'm not surprised. But I didn't see that be a thing. But what did you think? I'm interested to hear your thoughts about it.
For me, I wasn't surprised either, especially given the fact that it didn't necessarily have the warmest of welcomes. People were very judgmental of the show originally. Like, no one wanted to watch it. And I feel like it got a bad rap before people actually gave it a chance. But unfortunately, like you said, CW does have this reputation of canceling shows prematurely. Much like Freeform, they used to do that all the time back in the day when they were called ABC Family. They used to cancel.
I remember them.
They used to cancel at the drop of a dime, and they don't care. So,
if I can mention real quick, when you said Freeform, and I think they were on Freeform before it made the transition from ABC Family, because I used to watch a show, Lincoln Heights, and I was like, I used to love it. Yes. An ex-girlfriend of mine put me on. Ex-girlfriend put me onto it, because at first I rolled my eyes, but then next thing you know, I got caught up in it. And then when it got canceled, I said, "Come on, guys!" Like, I was my choice. Yeah. Good. I think it was like 4 seasons, correct?
Yeah, it had a couple seasons. And what was the boyfriend name? Because she used to say calling his name like that.
Was it Charles?
Was it Charles? That sound right. That's not right. And the dad was like working as a police officer. Yes. They need to bring it back.
Not for nothing. He still plays a police officer, because he was in this movie and he was a cop. And I said, oh, you just never got away from this. And I don't know. Typecasted. He got typecasted, and he was really good. His name was Eddie. I never forgot. His name was Eddie. Forgot the rest of the cast. It'll come eventually. But it was a really great show. So that's when you mentioned it. I just want to give Lincoln Heights some love.
Look, I'm down for a rewatch whenever, if you down. But
I'm totally down for that, because he was really like, and not for nothing, he was kind of like, and we'll get to Gotham. But when he saw Charles, he was like, "Oh, hey, Charles, white boy."
Oh yeah, it definitely was Charles. That's rolling off the tongue.
I think it's Charles.
And her name was like Casey or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Something close to that. Yes.
Yeah. But we got a couple comments. Silhouetted Animator, nice to see you again. Hopefully you'll join us for the next one. And here we go, Elvis. Hey, Elvis, thanks for watching. I love seeing the Superior. I see that you're by yourself, because I see it to the other side next to you. Do not do that to my co-host. No,
the Superior, you're great. No, let me talk, because he loves abuse. I wish I could see you, Elvis, but it takes a height requirement. You short bastard. But now let's go on to, because that's what he wanted. But let's talk about Gotham Knights because now he got his kicks and now he could go to sleep with his little teddy bear and his warm milk. But let's talk about Gotham. I mean, like you said,
Yeah.
there's a lot to go on in this episode. It picked up from the last episode. There was so much going on towards the end. You have Harvey. It's revealed Harvey is the father of
Dweller.
Dweller. Yes, thank you, Dweller. The mother is she's a nutcase. The brother, I'm sorry, because I always forget his name, but him and
It's like Cullen or Colin or something like
yeah,
that.
it's close to that. We'll just call him Mel C. We'll call him
Phil and Lil, man. That's the backup name. Phil.
We'll call him Phil. Okay, we'll call Phil, which is great. I remember that because my middle name is Philip.
What's your social security number?
Trust me, there's not enough of that for me to be spreading that because I'll be saying 1, 2, 3 ABC, baby. But there was so much going on, and it picked up on that. And I gotta say, I was telling my mother, these guys are so ballsy because, and maybe you can fill in a little bit of what I'm saying here. But they sit here and realize, oh, we have to go to no, I don't. But they reveal that, yo, we need to go to the courts. We gotta go to their house. And I said, yo, these guys are ballsy because
wait, before we get there, before we get to that one,
sure.
It opens up where pretty much Colin is trying to, again, being like the mother hen of the group, he's trying to touch base with Tucker to figure out how he is emotionally. Like, he got abducted, he, was all these things, he died, came back to life. And Tucker's not really trying to speak on his emotions. He's just like, whatever with it. And during that conversation, there's this beeping going off, like a smoke alarm in a black household, but it wasn't a smoke alarm. It was some other type of beeping. They were able to locate it. And it was actually some kind of device that says, hey, there's the camera that was attached to Turner in the last couple episodes where he was recording everything.
Right.
As far as what was going on with Court of the Owls.
Yes, when they were in the woods with the Court of the Owls, yes.
Yeah, that camera is about to die. So they're like, oh, we thought it was destroyed. And that's when they're like, okay, well, we got to go to the last place they heard it was hidden, which was Brody's house, pretty much.
Yep.
So they're like, okay, well, how are we going to get it? Because the show opened up with election night.
Yep.
We see that Lincoln won, the election. He's the mayor of Gotham. And there's a live broadcast going on. So they're like, okay, well, the best time to break in is when he's not home, right? So they devise this plan in like a matter of seconds because they get the floor plans to this building, get a plan together, it's lickety split. They're headed to the Brody's house.
Brody's house, yeah.
Yes. They get there. It's very highly protected, as you would expect of a mayor's house.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But they were able to get in pretty easily. Even what's his name? Colin.
Yes.
He's everywhere. He's a hacker. He's a goddamn master of disguise.
He's the man in the chair.
He's the man in the chair, but he's also in the field because he goes to Harvey at the election dressed as a police officer, his favorite disguise.
I was actually surprised in the scene because I thought that he would know, but he didn't. Talking about Harvey, because Harvey, when he said, "Come on, Mr. Dent," and he was able to, I guess he took the key from Lincoln, right? Because he had that key.
Yeah, he swiped his wallet from him that had his, key or whatever the heck it is.
This man is a Renaissance man. This man just has the traits of everything.
He do it all, and so he was able to tell Harvey that, hey, we're going to break in to try to get access to the videos, and he tells Harvey, I forget what he tells Harvey to do, but anyway, they part ways. Flash forward to Stephanie and Harper. Yeah, Sharper. Yeah. They're breaking into Brody's house. They get on the elevator, and this is the smoothest sailing. Like, they didn't run into any security for the longest time. I'm like, I don't know how that happened.
Well, you gotta remember too, Harper was able to hack into the system, and when he, I said Harper, I'm sorry, I said the sister. Colin, and he was able to make it where you couldn't see them. Remember, because when they were in the elevator, they saw them, but then they were able to do that. So that's why it was smooth sailing. But that system was able to overhack or override that, and that's how they end up getting caught. Because when you see
Mm-hmm.
this, and I mean, not for nothing, a lot of the stuff that they have done up to this far, they've been able to get away like scot free. So when
Yeah.
you see these things and the security come in, I mean, these security guards, I would fire them immediately. Like you see these, not to say women can't kick ass. Obviously, women can kick ass, but this is Stephanie Brown, who
Yes. It was
who
what,
like,
15 years old?
and I mean, she whooped these guys.
And they had weapons. It wasn't, these were big
She
burly
hit
men with
more than one
weapons.
dude. She took the gun and she was a rookie. My mother, my mother immediately said, "Why did she throw the gun down?" I said, "Oh, I see." I said, "Oh, I see kind of like you lift him up." But I mean, not for nothing, she had a fair point because I said she's a rookie. But I point out she's a rookie. She don't know what she's doing. But even still, why was she able to disarm this
A fully trained security guard who's probably has, like, I don't know, some sort of training, right?
experience
To
at
be
that?
guarding the mayor of freaking Gotham, you would think. But anyway,
Gotham just
they
hides anybody.
overpower these big burly men with weapons, and they're on the escape. And they get on the elevator. Unfortunately, the place is surrounded. They don't know where to go.
But can I
And
point
out of
out? Can I point out real quick too with this building, which was designed by
oh, well,
Turner's.
we're gonna get there.
Oh, we're gonna get there.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna get there because they didn't know where to go, right? They see on the elevator that there's this floor in, and they're like, "What the heck is in?" So they scan in. No, they scan to in, and it takes them to this floor. This is like, looks like an abandoned level, and they deduce from their surroundings that, okay, we were on 14, and they were in this in between level. Connor says this is what is considered the 13th floor. And as you were about to say earlier, go ahead, if you want to continue with it about.
Mhm. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but like because I thought this was really interesting how this floor, because a lot of floors you'll have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, but there's no floor 13.
Mhm.
It's just 14, which I found very weird, but that's a thing because I think what was it, Alan Wayne. Um,
Uh-huh.
he was superstitious, and
Mhm.
he felt like that number was I can't
Bad
have that
luck.
in my yeah, I can't have that number in my building. So when it came down to this other room, which was just weird, came off like a I'll say like a warehouse kind of like
Yeah,
that's what I got out of it.
like a parking garage almost with no cars or something.
Mhm.
But yeah, but that's a real thing. Back in another life, I used to work at hotels, and my manager at the time told me that a lot of hotels, older hotels, didn't have the 13th floor either because of people are very superstitious and they don't want any bad luck. So that's a real thing.
I
But
learned that today. Yeah.
yeah. So the girls, Harper and our tag team Sharper, they're trying to look around, figure out how they can get out of there, right? And during this time, keep in mind, the mayor's security is looking for them all throughout the building. And
Yep.
that's when they decide to have this heart to heart because Harper
It's the right time.
stops Stephanie. She's like, I never had the right timing, and now I wonder if you just kissed me because you wanted your mother to feel some type of way, pretty much. And I'm like, y'all couldn't have this conversation any other time. You're on the run from the law. You're living in the attic, the attic,
The Baddick. Okay.
the
Right.
attic.
Right.
Y'all could have had this conversation back in the
The
attic,
Baddick.
but
The
you want to have this while everyone with guns is looking for you. Okay, whatever. And
The right
that's
time.
when Stephanie reassured her, like, no, I really wanted to kiss you and I'm still into you, yada, yada, yada. But it was during that they turn around and they see a freaking coffin just over there yonder. And
Just killing. There's a casket there. And I remember I was sitting there saying, "Oh, I didn't know there was a crossover between Gotham Knights and Squid Games."
Squid Games, I'm thinking Vampire Diaries.
See, I never watched that show. I that's why I'm always so tired. I need to watch that show to get 8 hours of sleep.
You watch
Oh,
Lincoln Heist, but didn't watch Vampire Diaries?
damn, I mean, I felt attacked here. But but yeah, there's a coffin right there, and you hear someone screaming, and it's my man, it's my guy, it's what's his name?
Brody.
Brody. Okay, no, because my nickname was Chin. But we have Brody who comes through. He comes out and he reveals and tells everything. It was great to see Brody. Honestly, it was so great to
Yeah.
see. Honestly, in the earlier in the season, I thought he was going to be like some kind of bad guy, whatever. I mean, we'll get to it later about him, but it was cool to see Brody because he came through a lot in this episode.
You know what? They're following this formula because I know you said you
Mhm.
didn't watch the Vampire
Mhm.
Diaries, but even in the
Yeah,
Vampire Diaries, there was this character. I want to say his name is Tyler, and he started off as like the little bit of the jerk, the little bit of the bully, but then he got turned into a werewolf and plot device. He ended up dying, later in the seasons, which was probably what would have happened to Brody if we're being honest, right?
sure.
Uh, but
Or
anyway,
maybe
let's
turn
get
into a
back to
werewolf.
Gotham Knights. What?
He might have turned to a werewolf too.
Maybe, who knows where this is going? Who knows, right? So Brody is in the coffin, alive, and he sees the girls. He gets in just in time because security was able to figure out where they were.
Right.
He takes out one of the security guards, but unfortunately, the security guard also takes him out and gives him a couple in the chest, right? But he becomes alive magically again, and it's because of the electrum. He's full of electrum and electrolytes.
What
So,
did you think about if I can? I'm not trying to jump too much of ahead, but I was interested in learning a little bit more. I think we learned a little bit more in this episode about electro. I said electrolyte, so electrolytes too, but electrum because um, I figured like if you had the rock in your hand, right, you could use it and okay, how do I say it? You could use it and it would heal whatever wound that you had. If you use it, if you're dead, whatever, you'll come back alive. But I feel like there's so many different things, like so many different properties about it. So, I mean, did you learn anything new about this in this episode?
only what is about to happen next because it was when they had this whole revelation of the 13th floor
Mhm.
mystery. Turner put it together that hey, maybe that's how the Court of the Owls reached Bruce Wayne at the Wayne Towers and got took him out. So he convinces Harvey to go take a look at it. Right, Harvey goes there, and it was during his time and there he discovered some paperwork, some documentation, right? Some old timey documentation. And there's a photo of this doctor who allegedly back in the day, I want to say maybe like 1900, somewhere along those lines,
Yeah.
discovered this mystery drug or mystery thing that's supposed to keep you alive. And the picture
Who was
was of
it?
none other
Who was it?
than Brody's mom, Madame Al. Hey, what's her name? Rachel?
I
Was it
don't
Rachel?
know. We'll just
But
call
Mama
it forever.
Al, Mama Al.
We'll call it forever because she's been here forever.
It was her. It was her, the leader of the Court of the Owls, the brains behind the operation. So she's been alive for many, many years. I want to make a the boys comparison, but you haven't watched that, so it
But
would,
still
wouldn't.
throw it out for the fans. Let them know.
No, I don't want to spoil it for you because you're going to be watching it. So no,
We don't know
but
that.
yeah, it was her. So she's been alive for hundreds of years, and she's the one who kind of put together Electrum, or at least discovered it. And also, it was during this time we get a flash of the Court of the Owls because they're at this event dinner because they all about their events, right?
In the mask at that.
Yes,
That
in the
looks
mask.
so, that looks so uncomfortable. It seemed like such a I don't know. I guess that's just a rich society, but carry on.
Actually, I was looking for a Court of Owls mask on Amazon when I went to this
Uh-huh.
party this weekend, but
No.
they wouldn't have been there in time.
Oh, what about that?
But so it was during this event. She's telling the whole court that's there that everyone's going to get a little bit of Electrum
Mhm.
and live forever, and that she brought back not only one talent, but she brought back several talents
Four.
to be like the protectors of the Court of the Owls, and everyone's excited. They're like, oh wow, what a great idea. She takes because she's all about herself. Apparently,
Oh,
this woman
absolutely.
is all about herself. She ends up poisoning Lincoln, her husband,
Lincoln
framing
was
him
weak
for
though. I mean,
everything.
and I like Lincoln. I like Lincoln because he actually had a heart. But like the way she made him sound like he was like the weakest individual in the world. I mean, she just, you know what she is? She's a man eater. Like there'll be a man, and she'd be like, you know, this was fun, but
Mhm,
I've had my fun and now I'm done because
mhm.
that's how she treats him. Like every time. Matter of fact, for the longest time, when it was revealed that with him and the owls, right? I was like, oh, he's the leader, right? Nah, he's the puppet. The real master is the one who's dancing the puppet, which is her.
Yep, she even said that you're just another man taking credit for what a woman does or what
and
a
not for
woman's work.
nothing, my mother said, "Ow!" She got pumped about that. No, she got pumped. So
Preach.
for the longest time, this is gross. This is my last episode I'm ever doing. But you know, for the longest time, my mother wasn't a fan of her, but she was like, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about." I was like, "Oh, okay, sure." But yeah, no, she poisons him, and then the whole and just to add some context here, she poisons him, but also wants to put this whole thing because the Court of Owls it's hot now, right? So she poisons him and then have him framed for all of this to begin with. So now he goes down. So his mayor run is cut short. And she even says something over the lines like, "Oh, you won't go to jail. You don't have to worry about that." Because she said he pointed out he has the but she's like, "Yeah, no, you won't die, but you'll still be 6 feet underneath the ground or whatever, or something like that." So I mean, she made this guy's life just a hell, and I mean, and we're gonna get to that scene, of course, too. But I feel like we also didn't talk about enough about Duella. I just want real quick about her. You know, her relationship with her mother. You're seeing how the mother's manipulating her and doing things. And there's a what did they want? She wanted those watches because she knew that was easy money.
Yeah.
Duella goes get the money. She has this moment with everybody. The team is already not feeling her because of her actions from the last episode, the previous episode, and she has this moment with Turner, and I thought it was nice because you know I always sit here and say hashtag Turner sucks, but I thought that Turner going up there trying to point out like, hey, my mother poisoned. I mean, my mother. I'm sorry. Her mother poisoned him, and there was a bunch of other things saying like, you know, we're your family. I just thought that was a really good scene. I just wanted to touch a little bit on that. With Duella, but she wasn't featured predominantly on this episode, but she was still there, and I just wanted to point that out.
Also, neither was Robin. She was primarily with her mother this episode, but then when they needed her, she tells her mother like, "Hey, I got to do this." Right. You know, her mom doesn't want her to go, doesn't want to put herself in danger, but she convinces, or not even convinces, she pretty much just tells her mom that, "Yeah, I'm going."
But the real quick, the mother didn't even try because she said, what she said, Carrie. I'm like, that's not gonna stop her. You gotta like grab your girl, mama. But yeah, and I thought that was also another good scene. I'm glad that you pointed that out because that back and forth and her pointing out what you do for the people and try to protect people. I'm trying to do the same thing, but it's just in a different formula. But I'm doing almost the same thing that you're doing. So it was really good that you pointed out that scene.
So, but back at the Court of Owls event, our Scooby gang, right? They had to end up going there as well because the evidence that they were able to uncover at Brody's house wasn't enough. It was pretty much video with people's masks on, and you can hear audio, but they needed like, you know, the smoking gun. So they're like, okay, we got to go actually to this event and get some faces and some names. Pretty much, they're here for everything, and they infiltrate the party. I don't know how the Court of Owls, like their security is trash. It's horrible. Because these goddamn high schoolers sneak in every time, never fails. But they get in there, but they get in there kind of late because by the time they get in there, right, everyone's already dead. Like Mother Owl, she already did the work, slashed everyone's throat, and was gone like a thief in the night. And unfortunately, that's when I want to say, is it Gotham PD or there was another?
Yeah. No, you're right. When they came
Gotham PD infiltrate, or at least they found the event and they came in guns a-blazing, and they got our Scooby gang. They got everyone, right? There's nothing they could do. Flash over to Mother Owl. She's, you know, already got her master plan together. Everything's coming into place, you know, right? And she's like, hold on, I can't just leave because there's somebody I need to leave with me. And it's Big D Harvey because all the whole stuff.
Big HD. Big HD, baby.
Harvey D.
Harvey D. I'll let you figure out what D stand for. That's what Harvey be talking about.
And it ain't for debt.
That'll be you after I'm done with you. That's Harvey just a mess.
Right, that's what he leaves you with, a debt. So she goes to get Harvey's already uncovered who she is because as
Of course he have. Of course
discussed,
he have.
yeah, she's like, hold on, this thing and Ray. I don't know how he didn't figure it out.
Honestly, and in this scene too, right? Because I asked my mother, and I actually, did you feel like she was genuinely? I know we didn't dig as much, but let me just ask the question: do you feel like when she was talking about, because she pretty much was like, no man has made her feel like how Harvey made her feel. Do you believe that she was genuine on that?
I believe so. I believe she believes it. She's clearly a narcissist. She clearly has no problem, throwing away anyone, as we saw with her kid and her husband. And the
That's
fact that she came back specifically to Harvey, there's definitely something there. Maybe there's a little bit of danger because his condition and whatever magic D he has that he threw on her. And but I feel like she definitely has like an
She like the problematic. She like the problematic Harvey.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think so. She definitely has some sort of obsession, not even obsession, but attraction to him
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. I can see that.
I don't know if it will be long lasting. Like if he had chose to go with her, I don't know how long it will last. She probably end up turning on him like she did her husband, right? But he doesn't want to go with her. He's like, he's not down for it. She tells him her whole history pretty much like, yeah, that was me. I discovered this life-changing, discovery. He's like, what about the little people you had to kill to get here?
What about the little people? No more HD for you.
She was like, who cares about the little people? But anyway,
Yeah, because she
she
just rolled all
she
over.
what'd you say?
She rolled all over them. So yeah, why would she even care? She rolled all over them.
Yeah, she doesn't give a damn.
The little people.
But yeah, so pretty much she offers for him to start a new life with her, kind of similar to how Dwella's mother was like, okay, yeah, we gotta leave and start a new life. It's this whole thing is almost the whole episode was like, yeah, let's get out of here and start a new life.
Right.
But he ain't down for it. Harvey did ain't down for it. And pretty much the episode ends with the cliffhanger of what's going to happen to our Scooby gang because the LAPD have them at gunpoint, or the Gotham PD, excuse me.
I was gonna say, when did Los Angeles get involved?
That's the next city when they got to get over there.
They wouldn't stand. They wouldn't stand a chance.
No,
no, not at all.
But yeah, that was pretty much the end of the episode. We don't know what's going to happen. There's one final episode after this. Hopefully, it doesn't end on a cliffhanger. Hopefully, they're able to wrap up most of the questions that we have. Right. Because yeah, what happens with Harvey's other personality? I know that they were doing like this whole meet in between, meet in the middle, but I want to know, what happens with that. I want to know what happens with Brody now that he's like this talent. He gets to come, but also, how come Brody doesn't have that same radiation that Turner had when he had the Electrum? Because remember, nobody could go around him. He was about to die again because he was brought back by the Electrum. Brody's just fine, as are everyone else
I'm trying to figure out, because I feel like there was something that he explained, and I'm trying to wonder if that casket was not filled with it, but he was able to be around it enough to not be attract the radiation. I don't know. It's a damn good question. I don't know, because I feel like he said something to explain it, but I don't know. That's a damn good question. I feel like now I have to look that up.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know what happened to Stephanie's dad. There's a lot of questions.
Homeboy's in jail.
Oh, he locked up for her? Damn.
I think Homeboy's in jail. Like, I think Homeboy's in jail. I think the mother is just having the time of her life because no one's watching her. And I mean, what other question? I mean, the only question I can't answer is like, why did he get that radiation? That's a damn good question.
Well, hopefully we'll find out in the next episode. So if you like this video, don't forget to like this video and join us next week for the final episode of Gotham Knights. But also,
yeah, oh, there we go. Okay, there we go.
So we got a surprise for you guys. So we will be here back again tomorrow night because we were going to be talking about the premiere episode of
Secret Invasion. Marvel had an episode drop today. We didn't have no idea that was going to be today, but we wanted to finish up Gotham Knights and then continue, then jump on to the next project. So we will be moving forward to be going to Marvel. We also have a UPR battle this Sunday. Me and Cedar Superior, we are going to do. We have a graphic in there, but I'm just going to talk to you guys. We are going to do Pikachu against Mickey Mouse. This is a battle that we've been planning to do for the last 2-3 weeks, but we're going to make it happen. There we go. There we go. I'm representing Mickey Mouse. She's representing the street rat that is Pikachu. And you should join us for Instagram, 8 p.m. on Sunday. And also, too, Cedar Superior, you have a whole YouTube channel. I mean, I think it wouldn't be right if we didn't talk about it. There's a link there. What do you be doing on your YouTube, girl?
I do trailer reactions. I talk about anime. I give shorts for recently released movies. I just did one on The Flash. So check me out on my YouTube channel, See the Superior. I believe it may be linked below. And subscribe and hang out with me there. But okay, guys, bye. We gotta go. Let's talk to you later. Thanks for watching.